What is up, dudes and lady dudes? Welcome back to Just Nuts, guys. Today, this is gonna be a new looking video, but I'm outside my work right now because, of course, the ban list dropped literally as I was leaving for work, which is just the most obnoxious thing in the world. But I had my manager print this out, and he's an asshole, so he of course started rambling off the things that had new next to them, and it made me pissed because I knew before recording the video some things, not all of them, but I'm just excited because some of the things I heard are real ban list shit. So we're gonna get into this. I'm out here by myself. I'm gonna get that off of me. All right, sorry this video is going to be kind of wild, but we're doing our ban list reaction here. I have it printed out. Let's go through it. Starting off here with, I'm not going to do any editing for this video, by the way, so just follow along, all right? All right, starting off, we have Block Band. He said it to me. He already told me that one, but that's insane, guys. We were already sitting here and we were wondering, like, is Konami even going to make a real ban list at all? And yeah, I mean, like, they could have made the ban list Block Band and nothing else, and I would have been like, all right, I mean, like, next time we'll get the Hulk stuff, but Block is gone. That's huge. I wonder how good Adamantipator is without Block. They definitely take a huge power hit, a huge grindability hit, so I'm really curious how they, like, fend after that, but I'm happy because they definitely were too strong for their own good. So, yeah, Block Band, huge. Megaliths as well, you can throw that in there, too. Megaliths probably don't do a ton anymore. Unfortunately, they were a cool deck that used Block Dragon, but it is what it is, you know. It happens. Block needs to go. All right, moving on. Next, we have Jet Synchron Band. You know what? Might as well throw it in there. O-Lion Band as well. That is huge. Now, listen, these weren't anybody's actual picks to get banned as far as the needle fiber stuff goes. So, like, it is what it is. But still, something is hit there, which means even stuff like Infernobles, while you know, you're not hitting Hulk, you're not hitting Link Cross for them, you are hitting O-Lion, which is like the main card they like to go into when they're in the Hulk stuff, and everybody else wants to go into it too. So you take away probably the best Hulk starter, the card that gets you into Hulk in Jet Synchron, as well as the best card to summon off of Hulk generically. I think they'll end up coming back to the game in a couple years, but until Hulk gets banned, these had to probably go. If you're gonna hit Glow Up Bulb, you gotta hit like O-Lion and Jet Synchron. So those make sense. Then going down the rest of the band stuff, nothing. Okay. Now we get to the limited stuff, okay? None of the Exodia stuff comes off there. And at this, Double Iris Magician. Now, this is what a lot of people have talked about for a while. And I don't even know, honestly, I never really saw exactly what this card did in the game to get itself banned. But its effect, when you read it for the first time, doesn't seem insane, but I think, like, in conjunction with some other Pendulum stuff, I don't think the Pendulum Graph cards are, like, too obscenely busted anymore. So I think this is fine. I think that a lot of people have agreed this is probably fine. We could have been doing this for a while now, so that's not the biggest deal. We keep moving down here. We've got the Phantom Knights of Rusty Bardiche. Let's go. I wanted this so bad because as much as I looked at the new Phantom Knight stuff and I was like, yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. You got new starters, you got new extenders, all that stuff. You needed a power card like Rusty to get into to really make those combos worth it. That's like the guy that, like, finalizes your combo, gets you 2 quick interruptions right at the end of it, and that is awesome. That is so awesome. We don't have stuff like Nightmare Mermaid in the game, so it's not going to be obscenely abused in other decks. If you're going to play it in something like Orcust, you're still going to have to play probably 3 bricks, maybe even 4, if you're going to play like 2 Phantom Knight monsters to guarantee you can dump something if you draw one, as well as 2 Fog Blades. Like, you got to play 4 somewhat bricks, if you want to call them that, just to mitigate that, and that kind of dilutes your deck, and just Orcus aren't as powerful as they used to be. So I think this is totally fine, totally justified, and I think it's right. I think it's going to be really good for Phantom Knights going forward. We keep moving down. Called by the Grave. What's a 1? Are you crazy? What? Why? I don't understand this one. This one's different. Oh man, this one's so different. Called by the Grave to 1? Nobody's even playing Called by the Grave. What if they put like Max C to 3? That would make even less sense because they'd want other cards to, like, mitigate Max C, like make Max C worse. Maybe this means we're gonna get the cross out, the Nobleman card. Of course, somebody's weed whacking right behind me. Son of a bitch. I don't know. Maybe this is something specific. This feels like a Pankratops hit. You know what I mean? Like, They hit Pankratops and everybody's like, why? Like, nobody even plays 3 Pankratops. Nobody's even playing Called by the Grave right now. Weird. Whatever. Harpy's Feather Duster to 1. Oh, I don't even have one, and now it's going to be so expensive. Wow, that's insane. Wow. A lot of people like thought against this. They thought, oh, I think Konami will want to keep it separate from the OCG and the TCG, just so they're like, that's a cool, interesting difference between the two. And plus we got Lightning Storm. Like, Lightning Storm is pseudo Harpy's Feather Storm, arguably more versatile in terms of like what it does, but not necessarily when you can activate it. But still, I think they have their different payoffs. But man, that's brutal. I mean, we got Red Reboot to 1, which I guess helps the back row decks, but this certainly does not, because that's a one of pretty much every single player is now going to be playing in their main or side, depending on the format. So just be ready for that if you're a back row player. I'm with you, and I'm sad. Okay. All right, now we move to the semi-limits. Got a lot of semi-limits here. Got 4 different ones. We've got Seer, Malebranche of the Burning Abyss, and you know what? Let's throw it in there. Graph, Malebranche of the Burning Abyss. This is awesome. A lot of people were speculating this. BA, while it has gotten a couple of like little pops in the while we've been in quarantine. It's been nothing crazy, right? Like no crazy like first place like finishes and dominating the meta. It's a deck that has a chance and can grind in that more control style. But now having these come off the list is really cool for Burning Abyss. Gives them a lot more versatility in how they can deck build. They're not forced to build a very strict way, then get a little more creative that way, and just more consistency too. So definitely huge for Burning Abyss there. I like that a lot. Next up is ABC Dragon Buster and Totally Awesome. Let's just lump these together. Going to 2, that's perfectly fine. Like, the difference between 2 Toad and 2 ABC Dragon Buster and 3 Toad and 3 ABC Dragon Buster is like almost nothing, right? Like, it can come up, but it won't that often. So it's not that big of a deal. 2 is all we needed, so that if it didn't work out and you had to, like, you know what I mean, you wanted to put out a second one, you could. And this is great. This is so great for the ABC like deck to be able to play further into games and get into another Dragon Buster. And same thing with Toads, same thing with Frogs, especially, who knows, maybe Frogs win the create a card pull and they get a new card that like makes it even easier for them to get 2 Toads on the field in the same turn, which is pretty nasty actually. Like, they float, they get you, they're extenders, they're floaters, and they're negators, so pretty busted. So that's really awesome. That's it for the semi-limits, those 4 new cards, which takes us to our unlimits. We got 5 more unlimits. This ban list is huge. I mean, it's mainly just cards coming off the list with a couple cards going on, but still, I ain't mad. All right, Makira the Destructor. This makes sense. It's getting its errata in Legendary Duelist 7, so not a big deal at all. This is totally fine. Tour Guide from the Underworld, again, pair that with the Seer and Graph. That's 3 new cards for Burning Abyss to be able to use. That's awesome. This is the best normal summon in the deck. It is very weak to a lot of hand traps, but still, like, it's still a 1-card combo. So at the end of the day, resource efficiency is still really nice with Tour Guide. Ivagishki Goost Kraken. I have no idea what this card does. I'm gonna be honest with you, but good for Ivagishki. I'm sure it does nice ritual things, maybe some semi-busted things, but maybe at this point it's just been power craft. It's not that scary anymore. All right, that's fine. Pantheism of the Monarchs. It's another one. A lot of people have been talking about it. We've been seeing this for over a year. People have been putting it in ban list predictions as like the card they think could come off, because Monarchs do literally nothing. They're so crazy inconsistent. Now you give them this card. This helps a lot with that. I think it was limited. Yeah, so 2 more copies of that definitely will help them with just consistency. Even with all their consistency cards, I still think they'll struggle with consistency for 2020 standards, but still very, very cool to see that. That's definitely helpful for them. And the last card we have on here is Sky Striker Mecha Widow Anchor. So pretty much what happened was Widow Anchor went to 2. Sky Strikers, everybody thought Sky Strikers were dead. Sky Strikers won an event online because of Ryan Yu. Great player if you don't know. And then I think Konami kind of shied away from putting it to 3 because they were like, the deck seems pretty good. The deck seems pretty fine without Widow Anchor to 3. And now it hasn't really done much since then. A good amount of people still play it, I believe, but it hasn't really topped any events like crazy. So throw that in there, and now I'm just, you know, strikers just get a little bit better. One more power card to add to them that they can just hard draw, which is really nice, and grind with too. I like it. I definitely like it. I think that makes sense. If they're not going to have, if multi-rolls at 1, Hornet Drones is at 1, and Engage is banned, absolutely Widow Anchor can be at 3, I think, for the deck. But yeah, that's everything. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Nothing there. 13, 14, 15 hits on this list, 15 movements. I love it. I think the Halky Fireback stuff was addressed. I mean, Halk and Link Cross are still there, so they'll still be abused. That is a given, right? It just is. But not as much and not as generically, which I think could be huge. And also, like, Jet Synchron being the most normal summon, the best, like, normal summon that gets is just immediate Halk combo. Gone. I love that. Okay, that's really good. And it was searchable. So that's really good. And also the Block Dragon got hit. So those were like the 2 biggest things I wanted to see, just like get some kind of hit. They didn't need to go away completely, but something to mitigate them. I love this ban list, even though like they could have just hit Link Cross and that probably would have done more than hitting O-Lion or Synchron, but whatever. I'm about it. And one more thing I want to say is there were a lot of people in my comment section when I gave my prediction list saying like, dude, there's still been no events. Like, we're still in quarantine. They're gonna do the same thing as last time. Well, you look like clowns now, and you're fools. All right, you're fools, and you learn this time. It just makes sense, right? Like, if the format is too stale for too long, too many players are just gonna leave the game, and that just takes away perpetual money for Konami. That players that would be spending money, like every set, every new ban list, spending money, Konami just loses them completely because they just got tired of the game not being fun. I mean, this is a hobby for a lot of people. They play it because it's fun, but when the format's too stale for too long, players just leave because it's just not fun for too long. So I think this is a good move on Konami to not allow it to just stay stale for too long, and like drive some players away. So very cool there. That's going to do it for me on the ban list reaction, guys. Thank you so much for watching, as always. Sorry it's jank like this, but it had to be done. I didn't want to wait until 10 p.m. to record this tonight. It's like 1 o'clock. I just got to work. I'm doing this before my shift. And yeah. Let me know your thoughts down below on the ban list, please. I really want to hear your guys' thoughts, what you're most excited to play / not have to play against anymore. And yeah. I love you guys. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more stuff from me in the future. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.